In the last session, we have seen few elements which are non-semantic, like div, para. Also, we created CSS, like internal CSS, inline CSS, external CSS. Okay, and we discussed about the form elements as well. Okay, you can create a form. On the form, you can go with the input. So using input element, user can input. That can be typing text or selecting radio button or selecting from drop down or checking the checkbox. So those you can do from the form. They are called as input elements. Okay. So today I show you how to create a form within the HTML page and how to submit it to server. Okay. So we were discussing about front end, but today I just show you how you can submit data to server. Server means, as I told earlier, you can create a server application using Python, Flask, or Django. These two are meant for developing web applications. So these are Python web APIs, application programming interface for developing web applications. Python, Flask, or Django using Java, JSP, or using Spring Boot, you can create server-side code. Okay, backend application, I can say. Okay, or using ASP.NET Core, we can develop backend application. Or using PHP, we can develop backend application. Similarly, using Golang, Gin framework, also you can create backend application. To say these are a few, but you can use more such things. Like you can use Node.js for developing server-side application or backend application, or you can use Ruby on Rails. It's called as RWAR, or you can go with some Rust kind of application, so Rust kind of tool. So there are so many other features, other kind of APIs available. With the help of that, we can do. But here, I'm trying to show how to create a backend application using Python Flask. Flask is a minimalistic API. That means minimum features you have. With the help of that, within no time, you can create a backend application. So using Python Flask, we create backend application, and from front end, we send data to backend. That I would like to demonstrate. Or you can use Django, but that is fully loaded. It has more and more features. Okay. If you create application using Django, that's going to be more and more secured. And when security comes with the Java and ASP.NET Core, ASP.NET Core is more secure when compared with Java. Okay. So similarly, we have other languages like PHP or Golang. Even with them, you can create. Okay. Our focus in this first month is going to be only with the front end, but how to submit data to server side. For that purpose, I'm showing here Flask. So using Python Flask, I created a backend. Okay. So that with the help of the backend, now I can submit data from front end. It goes to backend, and whatever processing you want to do, you can do there. Okay. So here it is going to be Python Flask based backend application. I created already that one. I can show how the application is going to look. Then similarly, the front end, I create a form. In the form, I can have like few input text I take. Sometimes select I can use. I can go with the like hidden field, or I can use checkboxes or radio buttons. I can choose any one of them. And with that, we can create here a form. Form basically means for inputting data from the user. That data you can send, such as registration or login, forget password. And apart from that, you may have other kind of things in that you fill data and you submit to server. In the server, that will be getting saved in the database, or it may do some kind of processing, then result you may get. So that way, normally server side is going to work for us. Okay. So now I show today how to submit data from the front end. But for that, we need to have, first of all, a backend application which is running. So if you look at this, I created a Flask application. Okay, it's a Flask application I created. It is a Python library. With that, I created. In this one important file, what I created is main.py. So this is going to work on behalf of the backend. It is going to work on behalf of the backend. And in this, I have two different actions. One is here student, other one is result. So this is called as basically routing. So as soon as you launch this application, automatically this is going to load student.html. And by default, this is going to be get method. And whenever you work with web, okay, whenever you work with the forms, when you send data, you can send data, you can post data, that means action. This is called as method. We can call this as methods. Okay, methods can be, okay, so this is HTTP methods. What is HTTP? HTTP is basically hypertext transfer protocol. With the help of that, we can send request from client to server. So whatever information you are sending from client, that is received by server with the help of the request object, and the server is going to send response. I mean, whatever response you want to get, you can get from the response. Okay, so you have HTTP methods. The methods are going to be post method. Then similarly, you have a get method. Other one is head method. One is here put method, and one more is here like delete method. Okay, so these are called as HTTP methods, or they can be called as verbs. We can call them as HTTP verbs. Most of the time, either we use get method or post method. They, resemble CRUD operations. So what is basically CRUD? CRUD is basically create, read or retrieve, U is update, and D is delete. CRUD acronym, here it stands for create, then similarly read or retrieve. The next one, it is update, and next one is here delete. Okay, create meaning is what? You can create a new entry using create method. Using read method, you can retrieve data from the backend. Okay, update meaning is what here? Already whatever resource you have, that resource you can update with the help of the update method. Okay, this is basically called as here put method, not update. We call this as here put method. Okay, this is called as here put method. So using put method, we are going to update. And in the case of delete, you can delete a resource. So this is basically CRUD operations. In the CRUD, C stands for create, R stands for read or retrieve, U stands for put here, D stands for delete. So these are the methods. On the top, you have post method, get method, head method, put method, and delete method. Okay, so here you update belongs to put here. Similarly, create is meant for post, read is for get, and delete is for delete. So these verbs we use whenever you want to do something in the server, with the server. From the backend, when you want to perform some operation, either or you need to use either of these methods. Create method, or it is post method, or get method, or put method, or delete method. So these are the verbs, and these are the HTTP methods. We call them as HTTP methods. So using them, either you can send data, or you can retrieve data, or you can update data, or you may delete data. So depending on the context, you need to use them. These are called as HTTP methods. Okay, we call them as here HTTP methods, post method, get method, put and delete. So these are equal to here CRUD operations. C create, or is basically C create is nothing but post method, or retrieve or read is meant for get, U update is for put, and D is for deletion. So like this we need to use. You have some form data, that data you are going to send to server using these mechanisms. Okay, so we have various input elements. As we have seen yesterday, there are few input elements. So we can go with input. What are the types here? Input types can be here, type equal to text. Okay, type equal to text, or type can be here like checkbox, or it can be radio button. Okay, it can be radio button or it can be hidden field. We call this as hidden field. That means this field is not going to be seen on the screen. Okay, hidden field, like it can be date sometimes. Okay, so like this, we can have different types of inputs. And you can have a drop down type equal to even button. You can use button also as type here. The button can be either submit or it can be reset. So using submit, we send data to server. With the help of reset, whatever data you have on the form, that you can clear. Okay, and one more thing is here, select. So using select, it is going to be drop down. So with the select option, you can be selecting data. There can be multiple values available. Whatever option you want to select, you can select. So these are basically the input types. Type is text, type is checkbox, type is radio button, type is hidden field, type is date, type is button. So like there's some more types you may have. Okay, but these are the basic types. With the help of that, you can create a form. Okay, so for that purpose, first we need to create a form for the front end. So see here. First thing what I've done, I have created here server-side code using Python Flask. It's a Python Flask application. It is going to be running on port number 5000. Okay, whenever you take any web application, it has to be hosted somewhere in the server. Some server you need to host. Okay, so you should have a domain name. So domain name is something like our names. So it is a domain name. Domain name, with the help of domain name, you are going to be accessing. Okay, your domain name is going to be linked with the server IP address. Every server has an IP address. So your domain name is going to be linked with the server IP address. So when you type in the address bar of browser, the domain name, automatically the site is going to be getting opened. If if the web application is running, then your site opens in the browser. Basically, in this manner, it works. Okay, so before before actually you run the application, first you need to host in the server. You require hosting server. So whenever you want to go with web applications, you need to have a hosting server as well as domain name. Okay, but when you are working in your computer, in such case, you don't require any domain name. So you can just run with the local host. Local host meaning is nothing but here, local loop it is called as, it runs on the port number 127.0.0.1. Okay, and port number is going to be, that's the IP address, and port number in the case of Flask, it is 5000 I take. Whatever port number you want to use, you can use. But normally for web applications, port number 80 and 443, they are reserved. 80 is what? It is simple HTTP protocol. When you go with the 443, it is secured HTTPS. We call it as HTTPS. So these two ports we use for normally for they are the default ports for any web application. So port number 80 and port number 443. So 80 is meant for simple HTTP protocol. When you want to go with the secured HTTPS, in such case, we have to use port number 443, or else other ports they can be used. So depending on the configuration done by the webmaster or server admin. Okay, your applications you can host like in a hosting server. These days, people are moving into cloud like Azure or Amazon, AWS, or they go with the GCP or Render or Python Anywhere. All these are nothing but hosting providers, and they're cloud providers. When we talk about cloud, normally what happens, if you want to maintain your own website, you need to have full infrastructure. First thing, you require hardware, you require better internet connectivity, better bandwidth is required. Also, you need to have a server admin, web admin. So these are all costlier actually. Okay, very, very costly to maintain all that infrastructure is going to be costly for us. So instead of that, we can move into cloud. So cloud is going to give you ready-made, services. So just you need to move your application into cloud, it starts actually running. But cloud is also costly. It's not that simple. But if you try to maintain your own website in your own server, definitely it's going to be a daunting task for you. You need to handle security. You need to go with a backup kind of thing regularly. Okay, then you require a full-fledged admin for that. So definitely that's going to be very costly. And if the admin is not up to the mark, sometimes your site can be hacked or some server can be down. So with that, you may lose business. So that's why if you move into cloud, that would be really good. So cloud is going to provide you infrastructure. You need not buy anything. If you have simple computer, that is going to be enough. So you develop your application, then move into cloud. So cloud is going to take care like Azure or AWS or GCP, okay, or Render or Heroku. One more thing is like DigitalOcean. So all these people, they provide you the cloud services. They are very, very reasonable. Okay, and if you use in the proper way, then definitely they are going to be very useful. But if you don't use properly them, they may be, you may have to pay a lot of money for them. Okay, so this is what here I created a web application I hosted locally in my computer. This is the web application server site. I created here this application and hosted in my local system. It is called as local host. Okay, in this I have here two roots. Root is nothing but actually the name of the way name you can say. To reach that particular part, you have to use the root name. It is a routing basically. So using that root name, you can be reaching this particular code block here. There are two roots. So one is what default root. This is slash. It is here function name is student. It is going to render student.html page. It's going to render student.html page, and this is by default allows here get method. It's going to use get method here. So using get method, we are going to get first of all the student.html page. And next step here, this is result. Okay, so this is going to be here result. So once you get actually the student, from there you are going to call the result method. So with that, what happens? Whatever data you send, it is taken. If the method is post, in that case, you are getting data from the request.form. Request is basically an object which is handling the incoming request. Incoming request means from where you get the request, from the browser you get request. So whatever data is coming from there, it is going to be handled by request. So whatever form data we are submitting, it comes into result. It is going to be coming into result. So in the result, you can find data. If I print here result, what do you get? See, go with the print followed by result. What data is coming from result, you can find in this case. Then after that, what I do, whatever data is coming, straight away I'm sending this into result.html. I'm not manipulating any data here. I'm not manipulating any data. So using first of all this root default root, I render the HTML page. So once page appears on the screen, you may type, and when you click on the submit, this method is going to be getting invoked. Okay, when this method is invoked, what happens? Whatever data you have on the form is going to be sent to this method in the server side code. So into this method, this is sent. If the method is post, it's going to accept both the things, post as well as get. Okay, if the method is post, so in that case, what happens? It's going to be retrieving the entire form. Okay, entire form is retrieved into a variable called result here. Into result variable, so it is actually saved. Then we print here result. We are going to print what the data you have in the result we are going to print. After that, we are returning another template, result.html. So from this method, what we do, we send result data to result.html. It is going to be rendering whatever data you have in the form, basically in the default student form, whatever data you have, you are sending to first of all this backend code here. So from here, the data is getting redirected to another HTML page called as result.html. So this is the result.html. Here in this case, it's going to be retrieving items. Then one by one, it is going to be rendering here. So in a table fashion, it is going to be rendering. Okay, so this to understand the code actually, this is required. Python language knowledge is required, but don't bother about that. We are working with the front end. So what is happening in this case? Whatever data we are getting, straight away we are sending to result.html, and it should be rendering that particular data. Whatever data we send from servers from the front end application like student.html, that has to be sent to here result.html. Accordingly, it has to be rendered in that page. So now let us start this application first. Okay, so I do like this, then followed by, I typed here Python followed by main.py. Now it is going to be available on port number 5000, running on HTTP 127.0.0.1:5000. So 5000 is port number, and this is the address. 127.0.0.1 is called as address of the website. So since I'm running this in my computer, this is called as localhost. Okay, it's localhost. I'm not putting it in anywhere. So this is what exactly, it's a local host. Okay, 127.0.1 is local host on port number 5000. It is listening. Whenever you get in a request from the web pages, it is going to hear on this port number 5000. So now this is running. Let me open this in the web application. Okay, so here what I do, I can just type localhost followed by 5000. Now the page is going to be coming up. The page we got here, name, then physics, chemistry, maths marks. Now I need to click here on the submit. Let me enter some AVR, followed by here some 99 marks I enter. Similarly, I go here with the 45, and here maths also enter something like 56. Upon clicking on submit, it should be sent to server. Okay, what happens here? We can see. Now I click on the submit. When I click on the submit, it is printing data. You can see here. This is what exactly immutable object. That means you cannot modify. Name is AVR. Okay. Physics 99, chemistry 45, mathematics 56 I got. So whatever data I got from the front end is getting displayed. Again, from there, it is coming into another page. The page is called as here result. So like this, I could submit data from front end to back end. To the back end, data is coming. So this is responsible here. Now let us look at the HTML page, how it is sending data. Okay, the HTML page is here, student.html. When you look at this, we have doc tag declaration, then HTML tag, head tag, followed by body. In the body, I'm creating here a form. Okay, less than form, action equal to what exactly this is, http://localhost:5000 followed by result. So this is called as action. When you post data, this particular method is going to be responsible for handling this data. Whatever you have data here, it is responsible. So using post method, I'm sending data. And here paragraph name, input type equal to text, name equal to name I have written. So this attribute name is very important. Without that name attribute, you cannot send to server. Even if you send to server, this will not be understood. Okay, you can use two attributes. One is name, other one is ID. ID is meant for JavaScript and name is for server side. Now what I do here, I just remove this and I put ID. Okay, I'm going to put this as ID, then I save. So once again, I try to submit data. In that case, whether we can get name or not, see. Earlier, what is happening? You have name, then physics, chemistry, and mathematics. So I had a name attribute earlier. Now I changed the name to here ID. So what happens? Once again, see here. Let us come to this one. Then here, again, I go with the default one. It's going to give this page. I enter name. Okay, AVR. The next thing is physics marks. I enter 55, then 78, then 44, submit. When I submit here, this time, okay. One minute. So what happened in this case? Did I save this? I saved it. Fine. I just stop this. Control C. Then once again, I run this here. Okay, existing screens I close here, or else I close total browser. Then here I launch once again browser. Okay, then I go with the local host followed by 5000. Okay, even I clear the cache. Sometimes you may have cache, you need to clear that. Okay, I want to clear some cached images. Okay, then I close here this one. I this time enter. Now marks are 99, then 55, 88 I entered, 77. So now here I would like to submit data. When I submit data, so this time you don't have the name, you can see. So this time you have immutable object, physics 88, chemistry 55, mathematics 77. It is not showing any name for us here. Earlier it has shown name, but now it is not showing any name. So reason we don't have any name attribute here. Okay, ID is equal to name you have, name equal to physics, name equal to chemistry, name equal to mathematics you have, but here there is no name attribute. Name attribute is required basically whenever you want to send data to server side. Okay, if you want to submit data to server, you definitely need name attribute. So without name attribute, server side, the data cannot be sent to server side. To send data to server side, you require here name attribute. So just have ID. ID we can use for JavaScript. Suppose you are writing some JavaScript code in the given page, in that case, ID is needed. But as far as server, I mean, whenever you want to send data to server side, definitely you require name. And this is sent like actually immutable object. In the form of key value pairs, it is sent. Name is here, the key is what exactly physics is key, and whatever value you enter, that is going to be value. Similarly, key is here chemistry, whatever number you enter, that is going to be value. So mathematics is what exactly its key, and whatever value you enter, that is going to be a value in that case. So this is called as here key value pair. Okay, it is key value pair. Here for this key is missing. We missed key because of that name is not available here. If you see name is not available because we are missing the key in that case. Earlier you had name. If you see earlier you had a name, but this time name is not available. Reason that particular key we were missing. Now let us try to add the key here. So we go with the name attribute, and even we can have ID. ID equal to here, you can put this as name. ID is required for JavaScript. Okay, name is required for server side code. So JavaScript is going to be running in the browser, whereas this Python code or whatever server side code you have, it's going to run in the background. Okay, in order to manipulate before you send data to server, you can use JavaScript, some validation kind of thing you can do. Okay, when you have ID, your JavaScript can understand. Okay, but when you have simply name, if you don't have name, in that case, server side code can't understand. So name is required for server side code. ID is required for here JavaScript. Just 1 minute. Okay, now I kept name here. Once again, let me render. Once again, render the page. So I just stop it. Then again, I start running here. Okay, go to this. Then try to here open the default page. When I type here 5000, default page is coming up. So name, I put here AVR, then enter 33, then 56, followed by 77. When I click on submit, here this time you got the name. So this time you can see you have name, physics, chemistry, and mathematics. So when you have a name, then only server can accept it. Otherwise, server cannot accept. Okay, when you have a name, in that case, server can accept here. Otherwise, it will not be accepting. So this is what exactly everything is here, text. What type of data this is? It's only text type of data. Now I want to add here date of birth as well as age. Okay, age must be automatically calculated based on the date of birth we pick, or we can enter manually the date. Sorry, the age. Okay, now here let us go with another paragraph. Go with the P here and see whenever you go with the design here, in this case, it is not looking good. Design is not actually looking good. So we have to make it looking better. We have to make it looking better. So for that purpose, we need to define the style. You have to define style. So with that, it's going to be looking better. Okay, so here, what is happening? There is actually sometimes it is name is smaller size, chemistry is bigger size. So it is they are not getting aligned properly. We need to align them properly. So for that purpose, let us write some CSS here. Define some CSS. With the help of that, we can make it looking better. Okay, so here I go with the span. For this, try to use span here. So for span, okay, I can put name. Then here in the header part, I can define CSS. So this is style. Okay, inside the style, I can define it. then slash style. For span, I want to define this as dot form span. Okay, form span. So I want to take actually fixed width in this case. I want to use some fixed width. So let me type here width. I want to take like say 200 px. I want to go with 200 px. It is going to be fixed width for the span. So now how it looks, let us see. Span here followed by what we have to use, class we have to use here. Class equal to, here it is like form span. Like this we can keep it. And after name I should end here the span. Let me end the span like this. Similarly, I want to go here with the next element, that is physics. Okay, go with this. Then here again close the span. In the same manner, I go with the chemistry, then put the span. So here I close the span. Okay, then for mathematics also I require, then try to put here the span. Now how this looks, let us see. Whether they look now neat or not, we can check here. So refresh it. So when you refresh, even in this case also, it is not looking consistent. Okay. So reason, probably cached kind of thing you may have. Once again, restart this, then try to go with this. So sometimes what happens due to caching, that means whatever is earlier we downloaded, same thing may be getting applied. So privacy and security, then here try to remove the caching. Okay, cached images I'm removing. Then try to see here. So the style is not getting applied properly there. I have taken class equal to form span. The main problem here, I haven't kept actually double quotes. I need to keep in the double quotes this one. Okay, I have to put in the double quotes. I forgot to put in double quotes. Because of that, it is not getting applied. So whatever value you have attribute, that must be kept in the double quotes or in single quote. Either in the single quote or in double quotes we need to put. So I'm keeping here in the double quote. So just put like this now. This time the style will be getting applied, I think. Still not getting applied. Okay, so what could be the reason? Okay, that might be less in that case. When I go with the 200 pixels, it might be less. So let me go here with the 500 px. If we change here automatically everywhere, that must be getting changed. Still, it's not taking. Okay, so I have used some span here. Span class form span is not getting applied here. I have taken width as 500, but this is not actually getting, it's not using in this case. I have gone with the width 500 px, so it is not taking in this case. Class I have taken, everything is fine here. So the span should be taking that much space for us. Okay. Okay. So this is not getting applied. What style we have with this? Let me see here. Inspect. Okay, what this is saying in this case? Okay. So this is an inline element. It will not be working in that case. Try setting display to something other than inline. So with inline element, it will not have any effect saying here. Okay, so in such cases, I have a span with paragraph. When I go with this is not taking effect. This is not taking effect. Let me, in this case, loss equal to form span. When I take, it's not getting, it's not working properly. So we have to go with other approach then in such cases. What approach we can use is Okay, name I can take here. Span also I remove here. Okay, I want to use some margin left here. Dot input style. Okay, here in this case, I go with the margin left. Okay, margin left. I would like to go with some 50 px. Minimum 50 pixels or some 100 pixels I take in this case. I want to use here 100 pixels. So this input style I want to use with this class, this with the input. Okay, here write class equal to, in double quotes, I need to specify that. So same class we are going to apply with all the elements now. Okay, so with all elements we can put, instead of using here the class equal to input style, instead of this one, you can just say input. If you just go with the input, that will be sufficient. Now try to render this here. Okay, so when I go with that, still this is not working properly. Then here, let me go with the dot input style. I go with the input style. Then here, just put the class name. Class equal to, I just type here input style. Whether this is away applies or not, still not getting applied. So what is the reason? I try to see the inspect element. Okay, I've gone with the input image. Okay, so the style is not getting applied even here in this case. It's not looking nice. Okay, so what we can do in such cases, I want to divide this into different parts. Okay, I may use here table structure. With the table, then border equal to, here it is 1. Okay, border equal to 1. Here this way, border width. So border, okay, sorry, this is style. I can use, this is border, followed by here solid. Okay, then here I close the table inside the form slash table. Then here this is TD. TD stands for here. In the table, this is a TD, table data, and you require here a table row as well. TR is required. Okay, TD, this is the next TD is going to be coming here. Again, TD, then this is, we need to end the TD here. We remove the paragraph in this case, paragraph not required. Then this is here slash TR. Like this, we have a table row, and in that we have TD. So same thing we need to do with the rest of the things. Okay, come with this and here try to put the TR. First go with the closing TR here, slash TR. Okay, similarly here we go with the, once again, TD, sorry, TR. Then here we have with the same TR in this case. This is a closing tag. This is for the table row. Okay, row can contain multiple columns. This is TR. In the same manner, we have here TR closing tag. Like this, we are going to create a table. In the table, we try to set it. Now, in the place of the span, I go with the TD here. I can go with the TD. First table data. This is going to end here. In the place of the closing tag of span, I go with the TD here. So this is TD. Once again, we start another TD. In that, we have the input element. So this TD is ending here in this area. Okay. So TD, table data, and this is again a TR we have in this. We need to go with the TD here. TD, then again we end this one here. Slash TD. Again, this is here. TD we have. Okay, we have to close here in this area. Like this, we have the TD, TR, this is again a TD. Okay. Fine. Here it is TD. Now equally you can have this. After this one, you can go with the button. After the table tag, we can put the button. So table is also a container. This is going to contain rows, and in every row you can have a column. Okay, now let us see how this looks. When I render this, how this is going to look. Okay, it's not getting applied even now. So this is basically, okay, I come to this point, then table is coming up like this now. Okay, here something is wrong, because of that we have in this manner, otherwise you get in this manner. So this is, I haven't removed, because of that it is appearing here. Now save this again. This time properly you get. So every time you need to restart this. When you restart, then it is going to be working fine. Now everything is fine. Name, physics, chemistry, and maths in a neat fashion, we get this. We are getting in this manner now. Name you have, physics you have, chemistry you have, maths you have. And when you click on the submit, this can be getting submitted data. Now it is looking better. Now inside this, I want to go with some date of birth. I want to put TR. Then here it is TD followed by date of birth or DOB. Just I put. Here I close TD. Then once again, I go with the TD. Then here it is input. Okay, type equal to, here it is date. I can go with the date. You have a inbuilt date picker in this. We'll use this one here. Name equal to, we need to put this as DOB, then only data is available in the server side. Otherwise, it will not be available. Okay, then here it is /TD. Then I close the TR. Okay, so here now in this case, you have a date of birth. Okay, when you click on that, it is going to give you automatically for us a date picker you are going to get in that case. Now you have here a date picker. When you click on this, you get in this manner. In India, you get like DD, MM, YYY notation. If you are in Canada or in USA, you are going to get it as like MM, DD, YY notation. Depending on the configuration here, you have system date configuration. Based on that, this is going to be coming. If you look at this, it's coming in the DD, MM, YY notation. Date, month, and year in this manner. So this is called as date picker. Okay, it is date picker depending on the localization. So in India, we do with the first date, then month, then year. So because of that, it is coming in this manner. But if you change it to US time, then in that case, you get probably this as MMDD by notation. In the US, if you're trying, or in the Canada, if you're trying, then you'll be getting it as MMDD by notation. Okay, so automatically, this is available for us. It is available automatically for us. So this is called as here date picker control. Automatically, this control is available in the HTML5. In the earlier versions, it's not available. Okay, it's not available in the earlier versions. So we can pick from here whatever date you want to pick. And when you click on the submit again, what happens? See here. So it is just showing only 2024, 1010, other data is not coming. So what is the reason? Let us see. Okay, because we haven't entered any data in that. If you come to earlier screen, you don't have any data. So because of that, it is printing only the date 10/10/2024. It's printing here. So if you enter data accordingly, you can get it like 12, then followed by 45, then mass 34. When you click on submit, in that case, you get the data. Earlier, we haven't entered any data. Because of that, they were empty. Okay, so this is what here date type of data you can pick. Input type equal to date, name equal to DOB. So DOB here nothing but date of birth. Okay, here you can pick the date of birth. Fine. Next thing is, suppose you want to pick the age. You want to pick actually age. So here you can go this way, tr followed by here td age. Age is going to be here numeric. Age for us is going to be numeric. Then type here input. Okay. Type equal to, here you need to go with the number. Input type equal to number. Then name equal to here. This is age. Okay. This is age. Then close this. After that, close the td as well. Then close the tr. Okay. Another row I'm adding here. Okay, we have total now how many columns? Total six different columns you have: name, physics, chemistry, maths, DOB, and age. They are shown here horizontally. That means you can treat them as actually different rows. 6 rows you have now, but in every row you have 2 columns. So first column is label. Second column is going to be the input field. There you can enter the data. When you take type equal to number, it is going to be only numbers for us. You can get only numbers in that case. So just try to restart again. See. Okay. So just render here this. We come to this point here, then try to render. So we get the age. We have got age, but input equal to, okay, how this is formed, let us see. Input type equal to number, name equal to age. We have kept like this. Okay. So why this is not appearing? Because I haven't started another TD here. One more TD is required. Now this is going to be available. Okay, stop this from running. Then try to again run this. Just try to see. So now you have here age. You have actually, like, you can go up and down. You can select here increment, decrement kind of buttons you have. With the help of that you can do, or you can enter here whatever you want to enter, even that can be entered. So this is what numeric field, and this is what date field, and these are what exactly text fields. So these are all nothing but text fields. You can enter text here. Text means alphanumeric. It can be alphabets, or it can be numbers, or it can be other characters. But when you go here, in this case, you can enter only numbers. This is what exactly numeric field. It's called as here numeric field. Similarly, you can have email kind of mechanism. Okay, type equal to email. You can put other types of other things also available as far as type is concerned. So this is what exactly we created a form, and around the form you have a border here. You have a border. What type of border this is? Dashed. This is completely solid border you have in this case. It's not dotted. It is actually a solid border is available for us. So this is form. When you click on this submit here, it goes to server. In the server, whatever you want to do, you can do. Right now, what I'm doing, from one page to another page, I'm sending data in this. Once again, see how in the server it's working. AVR, then this is 1, 2, 3, 45 I take. So 77 I take, then I can pick some here date. So it is I can choose 1, default is 1, submit it. So it is showing in this way. ABR 1, 2, 3, 45, 77. But HTML is going to send data in this manner. First year, then followed by month, then followed by day. Like this. This is YYY followed by MM, then day. Like that, data is sent here. Age is 14. So using Python code, we are actually redirecting this from one page to another page. Okay, so all the fields now they are getting here shown for us. So this is the form we created. Upon clicking on submit button, this particular thing is getting called here. So action is here, the result, and method equal to what post it is. So when it's post method, then you can send data. Otherwise, you can't send data. Okay, if you go with the get method here, what happens? See. Let us go here with the get method and try to see what will happen in this case. Okay, so I need to refresh this. Just refresh this here. Okay, so result this is, and here refresh. Try to enter data once again. Then this is 34. Click on submit. When you submit like this, here you can see on the top, You have here name ABR, physics 123, chemistry 45, mathematics 77, DOB, we haven't entered anything, age equal to 34. So like this, they are going to be shown. This is called as here query string. The get method, along with the get method, you can send data like query parameters. So name is one parameter, value is ABR, physics is another parameter, 123 is value, chemistry is another parameter, 45, mathematics equal 77. Okay, DOB is here. We haven't entered age equal to 34. You can send multiple parameters by separating them with the ampersand. So using ampersand symbol, we are separating them. So first of all, root name followed by question mark. Then you can specify the key as well as values. Key name, key physics, key is chemistry, key is mathematics, key is DOB, key is 34. Similarly, age is here, name is AVR, physics 123, chemistry 45. So 123, 45, 77, and DOB we haven't entered, and 34 is basically what? These are nothing but values. And it is giving an error for us. So why this is giving error? Reason here in the page, if you see, if you see in the server side code, what is written? When it is post method, in that case, it's going to be rendering that page. Otherwise, it will not render. Otherwise, this is not going to be rendering. So therefore, it is showing error. So way to go, it was in a confusion. Because of that, it says internal server error. So this part of code is not handled here. If request.method equal to post, it is shown there. But whenever it is not the post method, earlier we got it as get method. So in the case of get method, what to do, we haven't said. So it is an error here. Now, whenever there is error, let us try to create here some other page. Okay, we go with another page. Sorry. So write this as not untitled. You can say this as error.html. Okay, we call this as here the templates. Okay, expand this. Here it is error.html. Okay, it is nothing but error.html. So same thing we copy and paste, but we just display error message. So in the error.html, we just paste this here. Then we try to show we don't require any of these here. Table is not required. Just in the body, we print h1. Okay. Server side error. This much we print here. Server side error, then slash h1. Okay. Now this we need to render. If this is not post method, you can go here with the else. Then what we do, we write here return render template. Render template. Then here indentation is important. Okay, this is what error.html. We need to close the bracket. When you have any error, automatically goes to error page. So you need to handle in that manner. If it is showing like this, it is really not good. Okay, if you have any error, you need to show the error as well. Now just start this. Okay, then here again we load the page. Then try to enter here 45, 67, 78. We pick actually date of birth, then age is 34, submit. So it says here server side error. Reason, this is not a post method. If it's post method, you can get data, but this is get method. So because of that, it's coming into error page here. It is showing server side error. Like this, you need to show the error. Okay, you have to show what kind of error that is. You need to display that to the end user. So what is happening here? Since it's unable to, since the method is not post method, we are coming into this part. If you look at the here student.html, method name is what for us? It's a get method. If it's post method, no error, but when it is get method, in that case, you have error. So now go with the post method in this case and see what happens. Again, we try to post data. What will happen? See now. Okay, so come here and try to show first of all the default page. default page is here. This one, ABR 123, then 456. This may be wrong, but I just enter some values here. Okay, 2, then age is like 34. I enter, click on submit. So now this time there is no error because the method whatever we are using is post method. Because the post method to the server side is coming properly. Okay, then if the method is post, what it is doing, it's reading data from the form, then it is sending same data to other page. The page is what here, result.html. So like this, here we are using the server side code. So we send data from server, from client to server. So server is handling if the method is post, this method is working. Otherwise, this particular method is working for us. Okay, but when it's get method, what happens? You can see here the parameters. When it's post method, you cannot see anything. But when you have get method, in that case, you can see the params on the like in the address bar. So normally, whenever you're sending data, you should go with post, not with the get method. Because suppose if it's username, password will be exposed. So to avoid that one, you try to use only post method. So using post method, you can send data from form to server side. Okay. So here in this student.html, that piece of code we have written. Apart from this, I want to go with some language. What language it is, I want to get. So right here, tr followed by td. Okay, then here it is language. Okay, here slash td. Then this is going to be select this time. Go with another td. Then here in this, it is select. Okay, it is actually select name equal to, I can type this as language. Okay, inside this now, you should have the select. You should have options. When you go with select, you can have multiple options. So what options are there? Now we need to set slash td, then this is slash tr. Let us go with options in this. Go with the option. Okay, option. Here we write value equal to, we need to have some numeric value for this. Go with the -1. Then here we can type it as select. Then this is option again. Okay, similarly, here go with the option. Then value equal to, here it is 1. Then go with the English. Then this is option again. Okay. So in the same manner, I take 3 different things. Okay, this is value equal to 2, it is. Then this is Hindi. In the same manner, once again I take, this one is 3, this is Marathi. Okay, and this is like this, I've taken 3 options. So this is 4. Then you have this as Bengali. These we have chosen now. How many languages total? We have here 4 languages. First option is going to be select. By default, this must be getting selected. So go with the selected option. Whatever you select, it will be getting selected. Suppose I go here with the Bengali. I can put this as selected. So by default, Bengali will be getting selected for us. Okay. So now Control C, then go with this. Refresh this. When you refresh, this result. Now refresh this here. We can get the language. By default, Bengali is getting selected. You can choose any other language, either English, Hindi, Marathi, whatever you want to choose, you can choose. Okay, so this is called as here select. Multiple items you can select using this. For this name is what language, and these are options. By default, this option is selected here. Bengali is selected. If you want to select Marathi, you can select. If you want to select Hindi, you can select. If you want to select English, whatever you want to select, you can select. This is called as here default selected language. By default here, Bengali we selected. Okay. But normally we need to go with the select. By default, we need to go with the select. Now let us change this to select here. Okay, save this and try to once again render this. Okay, so refresh here. Now default is what? Select. You need to choose some language from the available one. So when you choose here and when you submit, okay, here in the server side, you get the data. Language is what here? One is selected. So when you go here, you have two things. One is what? Text, other one is value. So this value is going to be very important for us. Okay, value is going to be very important. I have taken numeric values for this. Instead of some numeric value, you can even go with the English here. If you want to go with the English, you can go here with English. If you want to go with Hindi, you can go with Hindi. If you want to go with Marathi, you can put here Marathi. Instead of using 1, 2, 3, you can go with the names as well. But I'm using internally 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is again called key value pair. Okay, you have value as well as you have text here. So text can be getting duplicated, but value must not be getting duplicated. The text can be getting duplicated here. English is text, that means which is visible to us. Hindi is text for us. Similarly, Bengali is text. Marathi is also here text for us. So this text, whatever you want to, you can put. Whatever you want to put, you can put. But the value can be here some meaningful, or you can have numeric values here. Okay, if you want to put English, you can put no problem. But if you put 1, 2, 3, 4, it will be better, I think. Okay, so inside the database, you are going to save in this manner. 1, 2, 3, 4 are there better. You can go with primary key kind of things you can create. So mapping can be easy if you go with the numeric values. So like this is called as here drop down list or select. It's called as drop down list and select here. Okay, so next one, I want to go here with the like TR. Okay, then here in this, I have a TD. In this TD, I want to go with the gender. I'll use here gender option. Okay, gender. Then here it is TD. Then in the other TD, I should go with the like input. Okay, first you need to type the text male, followed by here ampersand NBSP. To provide space, I use this. So it is called HTML entity. Then here input type equal to what is exactly text. Sorry, type equal to radio. I should use this type equal to radio. Name equal to here it is gender. Name equal to gender I can put. Okay, then here close this. Again go with the ampersand NBSP. Then you can have other text. So it is female. Then here once again go with the ampersand NBSP. Then after that go with the input type equal to here it is radio. Okay, then name equal to gender. The name must be same for both the things. Name must be same because you are going to choose only any one from that. So that's why you have to have same name. Then you need to enter and the TR like this. Table row also we enter like this. You are going to take it. So this is what next one for showing the gender. I'm using radio button. So radio button also one of the input types. Okay, radio is one of the input type here. Next, try to see this again, how this looks. It will not come. I need to restart this. Okay, then I refresh this. When I refresh, I'm getting, okay, one is male, second thing is what here female, like this I get. So now come to name here, put something, then physics 1, 2, 3, chemistry 45, then math 77. So I can pick some date of birth here. Then similarly age, I can choose as something like 23, select English. Then I go with this. When I click on the submit, what is happening here? See here. If you go to server side, you have like this. Okay, gender on we are getting here. We are not getting exact value in that case. We are not getting exactly. So we are getting gender on, we get the value of gender is going to be ON, like this you have. Okay, so here this is physics 1, 2, 3 we got, chemistry 45 we got, mathematics 77, DOB we are getting, language also we are getting here, only gender we are not getting properly. Okay, so gender we are not getting, so therefore we try to use some value attribute along with the gender. Okay, we go here and try to put value equal to, here it is male, and here value equal to female. Let us try to put. So here write value equal to female. Like this, we set the value here and try to now see how you are going to get the data. Okay, just do Control C, then try to run once again. Okay, so just come back here and refresh. We're getting again this one. So ABR, then 1, 2, 3, 45, 77. I have chosen. Okay, then age, I'm going to pick a 34, then select English language, then click on the submit here. So what is happening in this case, when you go with the value, it is printing properly. Okay, gender is what here? Male, because I have chosen here the value. Okay, if you select the first one, it is male. If you don't select the first one, if you select second one, this is going to be female. So depending on the whatever you selected, the value is going to be available to you, and here it is coming. Okay, and here also in the other page, so the entire data is getting redirected to this page. In this page, in this manner, it is shown for us. Okay, so this is what exactly it is form. Okay, in the form, you can have data, you can enter data, you can submit, and it goes to server side. So server side, as I told you, it can be Python, it can be Java page, or it can be like .NET page, it can be Go language page, it can be any page. There you can set. Today I have shown you with Python. Tomorrow I can show with the how it works with the .NET, or how it works with the like Java. I can show you tomorrow regarding that particular thing. But here in this case, I have a form. In the form, I'm submitting data, sending to server side. In the server side, data is taken. If you want to process any data, process that, you can process. But here I'm not processing any data, just redirecting to another page. Into result page, I'm redirecting. So this is what exactly is form. Okay, this is form. Here, one more type we can use, that is checkbox. Okay, checkbox you have here. So for checkbox, I write like this, TR, or else I don't require any TR. Here I want to submit button we have. So just here I put like this, another paragraph I take after this one. So here inside this, okay, input type equal to checkbox. Okay, type equal to checkbox, and here it's not checked. By default, if you want to check it, you can go with the checked option. Okay, so if you go with the checked option, by default, this will be getting checked. Fine. So value equal to yes or no. So value also we need not set whether this is checked or not, you can see. Okay, name equal to here in this case, accept. I put like this here, accepted. Okay, then I close this here, followed by ampersand NBSP. And one more time, I go with the ampersand NBSP because two spaces I need here. Then I accept and agree. And here you want to use and. In that case, you can go with the ampersand AMP semicolon terms and conditions. Okay, like this, I want to put here. Okay, so this is not required here. Accept terms and conditions. And in this place, instead of using here and ampersand AMP semicolon, and put like this. Okay, so how this looks now, let us see. Fine. So here, I refresh this. When I refresh, I have like this. I accept terms and conditions. When I put checked automatically, this is getting checked. If you remove that, it will not be getting checked. So here I have checked option. If you remove this, okay, if you remove that, what happens? See here. Now again, try to here refresh this. So this time automatically not getting checked. So using here checked attribute, you can make it getting checked automatically. You can use checked attribute with that automatically, that can be getting checked. Even here also you can use such option. So by default, you want to make it checked. So the mail is getting checked here automatically. Okay, so just try to refresh here. When you refresh, it's not coming. You need to start every time that. Okay, so now refresh this here. Automatically, this is getting checked. So using checked attribute, you can check radio button as well as other thing is checkbox automatically. So whenever you go with this one here, when you submit here, what happens? See. Okay, what it says in this case, accepted on. You have like this, accepted on, you are getting. Okay, so when that is checked, you need to send proper data in that case. Accepted on, you are getting. Suppose that is not accepted. Okay, so I come back to earlier one, then I do like this here, click on the submit. Now what happens here? You should get this as here. Okay, name, physics, chemistry, mathematics, DOB, age, language, gender, male. So it is not shown, nothing is shown in that case. Okay, but when I here go with the check, so in that case, it is showing you. So this time accepted on you are getting. So when you don't check it, that value is not available there. Okay, that value is not available to you. So accepted whenever it is not on, that means what? The checkbox is not checked. So like that, you need to see here. Okay, so this is what exactly a form we created. In the form, we are using different types of input, text input, similarly numeric input, date input. So similarly, we have gone with the select, and one more thing is here, checkbox. Okay, so this is what exactly is form, and we are using two different types of methods. One is post method, other one is get method. So using post method, you can submit data in the server side that can be processed. With get method, by default, you are going to be getting data. Okay, so when you are first time loading this page, by default, that is actually get method. With get method, the page is here shown first, but when you click on the submit button, it's getting here submitted to the server side. Here, I mean, with the submit, you can use one more type that's called as reset. So in the case of reset, whatever data you entered in the form, that can be getting cleared. So this is about actually form. Tomorrow we are going to look into the JavaScript validations, how to validate this, and I'll show you how it works with the Java tomorrow. So how we can write server-side code for Java. Okay, so how you can send data from HTML page to Java server side, I'll show tomorrow. But this is about actually form. So using form, you can submit data to server side. So form is also one such HTML element. This is also block level element like div, like table, like para. This is also block level element. Any questions?